All right, you guys, what's going on? Good to see you guys tonight. I'm going to be doing this thing, Songwriters Roundtable. I'm going to be doing it fairly often. I'm going to try and do it once a week, if not once a week, once every other week. And tonight, my guest, I'm going to try and have multiple guests on as much as possible, but tonight, my guest is the amazing Mr. Crumb. What's going down, brother?
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
I don't hear you, though.
You don't hear me?
Oh.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you. Do you hear me okay?
I hear you great, brother.
Very, very cool.
Welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, so I know I got a little echo going on. I got this new audio interface that I'm dealing with, and I have not been able to get rid of this thing. What's going down, Dropkick Chester? What's going down, brother? Alondra, D, good to see all of you guys. All right, so tonight is going to start a new thing, and I want to start it off real quick. Justin, I'm in Oklahoma at the moment, yes, sir. I came out here, bought a house, been fixing it up. I'm heading back to California, though, tomorrow morning. I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be back and forth for, the foreseeable future, just fixing this place up and then still working out there and stuff like that, too. But yeah, so when I started this little show, and I hope to just showcase some cool songwriters. So if you guys out there, so this is a call-in show. That's why we're doing it through through StreamYard. So there's a link. There's a link in the description box, and there's a link in the comments section. And if you guys want to play your own songs, we want to hear from you. So call in with your own song, and we'll hopefully we'll put you on. And we'll be able to have and be able to talk about your song. We'll just everybody out there and will be able to play their songs, and we'll talk about your song just like we'll talk about ours. So Mr. Crumb is the guest tonight. Would you like to play an original tune?
I don't have any. I don't know any songs.
No. Yeah, you haven't written anything, huh?
I've been working on one. It's like it's a little bit funny, but I don't know. I'm just working on it. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, no, I could play something. Yeah. Have you heard of this new app called Clubhouse? By the way,
I have not.
It's an audio streaming service, and I was on it the other day, and there are a lot of musicians, and it's iPhone only, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I played a song for some random strangers, and I got feedback. I think it might take off. So it's kind of like what we're doing here. So I played. So here's a song called "I Can't Complain," or I Can't Complain. Here we go. Do you want me to play it, or you want me to just talk about it? I don't know.
I'd like you to play it, and then we'll discuss it.
That's how this works. All right.
Hey, Crumb, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Turn yourself up just a hair.
You know how dangerous that is to tell me. Hello, check 1, 2. How about now?
You're good.
A little better? All right.
We'll see how that is. Go ahead and play the tune.
Can you hear the piano okay?
I can hear the piano great.
Nice. I just got this. Just bought this. Pretty cool.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, whoa, it's me. My lowly lane ran away from me like a runaway train. But I'm still saying that I can't complain. While we're traveling deep through the galloping plain, I'm a Muhammad Ali, knocked me right on the brain. But I'm still saying that I can't complain. And everywhere I go, people tell me how I need to take more control, and I don't mind it at all. No. And everyone I know is telling me how I need to take more control, and I'm in love with you all. It don't get much better than this. Now how about a kiss? Oh, about nicotine seems to soothe my wounds. Riding all night on cheap romantic booze. Yet I still choose to say that I can't complain. No.
I love it.
It's fun, right?
That's a great tune. When did you write that?
I wrote it like right after I watched that movie, a stupid, futile something about like the National Lampoons. The song in the credits was very similar to it, and so it made me think of it. And then I just kind of jammed on that. So it was like a year and a half ago. Yeah, definitely pre-COVID, because I can definitely complain now. Just kidding.
Right.
Just kidding.
Yeah, it's a good tune, dude.
Yeah, man. Thanks, dude.
Is that on any album? Because I know you got Fun with
No.
Venison. That's not on Fun with Venison, is it?
No, I wrote that way later. Yeah, it's not on Fun with Venison. I got like a lot of tunes I have never really showed people. I'm trying to polish them up for the next album that I'm working on. That's going to be on it, and so I have about 9 other ones.
Oh, really? You already have that many ready for the album?
Yeah, they're all just incompleted ones that just didn't feel right, when I was writing them before. But lately I've just been filling in all the missing parts, and it's been kind of coming together. And now it's like I had to let a few go that just. When you hold on to them too long, you're like, if it didn't become a song by now, it never will. But some of them are worth revisiting, and and lyrics lately have been a lot easier. They're coming a lot easier because it just feels like there's a lot more to think about. So.
If that's something I can say too about your lyrics, particularly, like you've got, like you're like when it said on the screen earlier, you're a crazy musical genius. That's not a lie, dude. Like you're very gifted in the vocabulary department when it comes to writing lyrics. You just have a knack for really creating very visceral and thought-provoking lyrics.
Thank you. I'm not gonna say it comes natural. It really doesn't. It's the one thing that. When I do write a song, like I'll think about a line all freaking day, and that's kind of why I have a hard time finishing songs because, if the lyrics don't make, if I don't believe my own lyrics, I don't like them. I can't just be okay with it, and I like to have not just the last phrase rhyme. I like to have like the last 3 syllables rhyme.
Right.
This one earlier today I was writing. And it goes, goddamn, I forgot we were living in zombie land. And everyone's thinking about this scam. Told you guys trust the plan. But I've said it forever. And I probably don't want to get all conspiratorial, but like, I really wanted the words to work. And I thought of every different way. I pretty much spent 5 hours on just that chorus, thinking of the words, and like, didn't really get anywhere. But I like the phrasing of it because it's mathematical, Boom, ba-da-da, da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. So what I do is I fall in love with just those notes and that phrasing, and even just the syllables of ba ba dee dee da. Like there's a reason why I sing it like that.
Right.
And then when you fall in love with that, you can't help like putting yourself into that box where if I start writing lyrics to it and the word isn't perfect to that, I don't like it. I need that feeling more than I care about what the word is. But I also want the word to make sense, and so it's really just that. Like I like it. I'm very mathematical though. Like I don't usually when I write a phrase, it's pretty consistent. It's not very free flowing. Like I'm not like a baby, yeah. That's what I'm talking about right here. Yeah. I'm not like, I usually every phrase is like, oh, you could probably guess how I'm going to do it based off of the last 3 or something like that. So
but there's something positive to be said about that in general. That that means you're doing what feels natural instead of doing something forced or maybe just kind of like free flowing, more like John Hyatt-y type, just kind of, what I mean? Just kind of just doing some stuff over, over the musical thing.
Well, it's just not my style, but a lot of people have that, and I respect it. I think, like singing, as a singer, I never really thought of like the singing part as my instrument, and people who like are singers, they kind of gravitate towards that kind of song. Where I look at more of the craft of the songwriting. Because I never would want to be like a guy. I just don't see myself as the kind of guy that's like gonna, belt out some like Pavarotti.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, but dude, you have a very unique vocal sound and styling, and you know what I've often said that it's very hard for you to go out of key because of the way you sound. It's almost like the human element is always on your side. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean by that. You know what I mean?
Keep it very slidey, so it sounds like
you got a good timbre because you got a good timbre there, and then I think mixed with that kind of control, you have, with that slidey thing. Even if you're out, you're kind of in, you're kind of coming into it or coming out of it a little bit. I wanted
it's like playing the guitar sloppy. It's just one half note away. You could be applying that to singing too. So
right.
That's a bad note. There we go.
Right. Yeah. Hey, thanks so much to Dropkick Chester. I appreciate that for the super chat. He asks a question. Actually, I know you're familiar with these songwriters. He said he made a poll in Facebook, and Greg Graffin and Brett Gurewitz were voted best punk songwriters over Strummer Jones. Thoughts? I want to know your thoughts on that because I obviously would have voted Graff and Brett as well. But what are your thoughts on that?
Greg Graffin versus who?
Joe Strummer.
Oh. It's just totally different styles, I guess.
Totally different styles, exactly. And for me, I think it's preferential because I'm such a big Bad Religion fan. I would just kind of lean to that on kind of just a natural, you know what I mean? Like, but I will say the songs are crafted fucking incredibly from Greg Graffin, in Bad Religion. They're just crafted wonderfully, the melodies.
You can tell.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, it would definitely be Greg Graffin for me.
So I don't know. I'm a Clash fan, so it's really hard to. It's a tough one. I did more Clash growing up, like the Magnificent Seven. Well, yeah, I would sing songs like. I would learn the Clash and be like, what's a good one? Ring, happy. Ring, ring, 7 a.m. Move yourself to go again. Cold water in the face brings you back to this awful place. The lyrics on that are really genius, and like so. But when you hear Clash, like they sound dumb because my idea of a dumb person probably sounds like so it's hard. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain they don't care. They're not trying to sound smart, but they say some brilliant stuff. They mention a lot of like Hong Kong dollar, Indian cents, English pounds, and Eskimo pence. The whole song just gets really deep into old, just a lot of history stuff, which I didn't expect. So I don't know. It's Greg Graffin definitely makes it obvious that he's being political or being, like he's saying something. Whereas, Joe, he is, but I never thought of him in the same, like making a point way.
I like that.
Yeah. Thanks.
That's pretty smart. That's a pretty smart answer. Yeah. All right. There you go. I mean, they each hold their own weight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it gets to a certain point with any musician or anybody that gets to a skill set in anywhere, where it stops becoming a better or worse. It just becomes a matter of preference.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so with you get around people that can do something that you can't do, and the part of us will be like, "Oh man, I suck. They can do this," but you do things that they can't, and it just becomes too nebulous of a concept to think about in terms of simplified terms. So I don't know. Yeah.
No, I get what you're saying, dude. All right. All right. So that was a really wonderful song you just played a little bit ago. What was the name of that song you just played?
I Can't Complain.
I Can't Complain. And okay. And so I'm gonna play one that was kind of a little bit bouncy.
Nice.
Of course, absolutely, Dropkick, absolutely. So this one was kind of like the one you played. It was kind of more along the lines of kind of a bouncy feel. This one was on Somebody's Darling. It's called If That's Quite All Right. I got your picture inside my head. I wanna paint it again and then invite you out to see it. but I got your number, I'm giving you a call. If that's quite alright with you, come on, open up your Valentine. Or walk on through, take a seat, you're a friend of mine. And I hope to see you there. And if I do, I want it to last. Closing up shop for the 10th straight time. Working extra late night, seeing my baby tonight. But I hold your sweet smell behind my eyes. And I'm not leaving you behind. I got your picture inside my head. I wanna paint it again and then invite you out to see it. But I got your number, I'm giving you a call. If that's quite alright with you, baby doll. Oh, oh, oh. If that's quite alright with you, baby doll. Oh, 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 oh. Open up envelope, fire and wine. Enjoy the words that I send to you tonight. Closing down the chapter of crazy time. I'm picking out the pieces and believing that love is mine. Oh yeah, I just got that one more page to write. I got your picture inside my head. I wanna paint it again and then invite you out to see it. But I got your number and giving you a call. If that's quite alright with you, baby doll. If that's quite alright with you, baby doll. Oh, whoa, 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 come on now. I got your picture inside my head. I wanna paint it again and then invite you out to see it. But I got your number, I'm giving you a call. If that's quite alright with you, baby doll. If that's quite alright with you, baby doll. Oh, whoa, 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 yeah. Open up your Valentine. Or walk on through, take a seat, you're a friend of mine. And I hope to see you there. And if I do, I want it to last. Actually, it doesn't resolve. I just usually leave it out on the...
Yeah, but you wanted to so bad. It's like
I know.
You're like you can't help it. Like you.
Every time I play, I always leave it off on a resolve. What's going down, Tiago? What's going down, Kyle? Kyle, what's going down, Tristan? Kyle
I'm
asked.
from Long Beach.
He asked where you're from.
Beach.
Long Beach.
I am from Long Beach. God, I wanted to jam with you just now while you were playing so bad, and I know it won't work in the stream, but I'm dying to know what it would sound like. I wanted to just jam along. Like, wouldn't it be amazing if, like, somehow, some way, like, we just figured out that this is possible and I could just jam with you? I know it won't work, but I'm so curious. I wonder what kind of second delay it is.
I'm curious myself. I wonder how Streamlabs. Oh, okay. Gives a little couple different options here.
Yeah. Ooh.
All right, I like that one.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they want us to try jamming together.
They do? Okay, good. I was hoping that.
Okay. C sharp major. You know, I'll just play it in C if it's better for you.
I don't know why. I can't think of like the up one. There you go. Can you hear it?
Yeah, and it's not bad.
Is it okay? Is Is it like before or after the beat? Like
I don't know, because sometimes you kind of give me like a little like stutter step anyway and a swing.
I know, I'm making it harder. I'm like, do you want me to? Should we try this? Should we try this experiment? Just I'm gonna do a triplet in 6/8.
All right. Let's
do it more straightforward for sure.
Let's do. Right. Look, let's just do.
I'll do it on the ones.
No, let's just do. Let's just do a different song. Let's just do "Knocking on Heaven's Door" in A. All right.
All right. I'll try to do the melody of it like on here and see if that works. All right, I'll play the chords on the one. Here we
go. Okay, so it doesn't work. Okay, it definitely doesn't work if you try and play the chords with me. But if you just kind of riff around what I'm doing, it'll work. So like if I
anticipate something, like if I play like a little ahead of the beat, is that gonna fix it?
It's gonna fix it. Yes, it is.
So I'm just gonna pretend like I'm hearing 2 seconds into the future.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I think I could do this. All right.
Wait. Let's go 12 bar blues in A, okay?
Okay.
Let's go down, D. This is awesome. Moment deal together.
I'm so glad we're doing this. I've always wanted to try this. This is new.
So no chords. Just fucking give me some riffing. Just give me some soloing and shit.
Okay.
Because that'll jam. That'll jam. I guarantee
that's right.
you
We just talked about that. We literally just talked. I'm sorry. All right. Yeah.
No worries. Here we go.
I got that. All right.
Yes, bro.
Is it working?
It's totally working, dude.
No way.
Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna listen to this when we're done. I'm
telling you, dude.
Why aren't people doing this?
Well, because I don't know. Because we just figured out that like. Dude, okay, that's you. It's right. It's like you're only just a half a second behind me anyway.
Really?
Yeah, dude. So if you're just jamming, like it actually sounds pretty good if we're just doing.
If I drink a bunch of coffee, because I always tend to play ahead of the beat when I'm like, I should just do that. I should just be like, oh, let's play, because when I record, and I always have to move me over a little bit. So I'll just try that. I get it. It's really just a half second. I'm dying to hear what does the chat say? Is it working, guys?
Dude, they were saying it's totally working.
Shut up! No way. That's so cool. What about harmonizing? What if I sang a half second before you on some like?
I doubt
Tennessee?
That's gonna work.
Let's try it. Tennessee. Let's do it. Just one little lick. Hold
on a second here.
Yeah, it probably won't work. You're right. Lakewood, thank you.
Yeah, that way they see they understand what's going on.
Yeah, good call.
Jamming from fucking 2 different states away. All right. All right. Why don't you play me a song? Why don't you play me another tune, dude?
Okay.
But I'd like to request one, and then you can request one from me.
Absolutely, I got some for sure. I'd love to get out of you. Okay, I'm gonna play one off the top of my head right now, though. Or do you want to request?
Kyle, how do you do that? I don't know what that is. A streamline. He says you should create a streamlined metronome.
Where everybody's at that. The problem is, I thought about this a lot. The only way to do it is if it's a chain of people who don't hear themselves. So if you stream, I can jam to you, but you won't be able to hear me back. But then I can stream me and you to somebody, and they can play along. Just like kind of how I hopped on your live stream, but streamed somewhere else. But we'll never be able to like go back in time 2 seconds.
Right.
Like it's just if we can do that. Like, you know, we'll start with this, but it's been a conundrum trying to figure that out.
Yeah. And so check out. So recently I just got this thing called the Oculus 2, this virtual reality thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking into figuring out how to, because you can create your own like virtual chat room where you can like go in and chat with people and like with your avatar, you know, and like virtually. So I'm looking into starting a live music stream in a virtual chat room where people can like put their virtual headsets on and like create their avatar and like go into that room and like actually.
I gotta say, I am just not a fan of virtual. I want like real things. I want real tangible places and things. I don't want to be fake. And you know, I want to. That's why like it's just. Oh, whoops. This whole real virtual thing. Like we gotta just go back to the basics here, for Christ's sake. Ah! All right. No, I told him it's the future. It really is, and especially if you're not.
I think that would be fun.
Town. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I think it'd be fun because these streams we do them, and you can do that in Twitch apparently. So I'm gonna when I get home, I'm gonna figure that out. You know what I mean? That way we can all do the virtual, because we were talking about how to do a virtual mosh pit. Everybody wants to actually pit and the living room, but be able to be in the pit. So we're figuring this shit out.
I just want to videotape somebody with they're all good, but the real life, like what they look like, and they're just walking around like yeah. And I'm sure what they're experiencing is amazing,
Perfect.
But they're gonna look so stupid.
Right, I love it, dude. So
how do you
dude.
fall? I don't know. Man, that's good stuff.
Man.
I miss mosh pits. That's like the last thing I think we're gonna see. Like, if anything, it's gonna come back normally anytime soon. The mosh pit is by far the bottom of the list. All right, guys, we're back to live music. Mosh pit. We're gonna have to set everything back a year if somebody mosh pits in the next 10 years.
Right.
But I don't know. I miss it, man. I can never stay in a mosh pit longer than 30 seconds without getting trampled by girls. Literally, I can never do it. But
I'm getting trampled by girls, huh?
Yeah, no, literally, I would be. I remember I saw Strung Out when I was it was like a high school ski trip, and I would go in there and be like, yeah, this is tight. Within 10 seconds, I'm on the floor. It's just, and I tried 10 times, and it just wasn't in the cards. So, but it's fun. Are you a fan of those mosh pits?
Oh yeah, I used to be. I mean, it's been a while. The last couple of Warped Tours I went to, or the last couple of shows I went to, I was backstage or whatever. So I was just standing around the best spot I could to watch the show. Mm-hmm. He said the worst are the girl skinheads.
The worst, yeah, girl skinheads. Oh man, yeah. The absolute worst.
That's funny. All right, Crumb, show me. He says, Dropkick says, I saw Strung Out with the Vandals and Pennywise, and they broke my nose the last mosh pit.
Nice. Yeah, those Strung Out pits they're nothing to scoff at, man.
Nah, Strung Out has played some much smaller venues down there in Long Beach. Yeah. And yeah, you're right about that. They're no joke. But all right, so I wanted to know if you could play me a tune that you wrote recently. And it How Beautiful the World Can Be.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh,
Would you play that one for us?
sure.
All right. I personally love this song, so I hope you guys enjoy this tune from good old Mr. Crumb.
All of a sudden, I'm only hearing things on the right speaker. Am I coming in okay? Is it all good?
You're coming in good. You're coming in good for me, buddy.
All right. Is there
Now I'm hearing that little echo.
like a little, well, I just put a little room sound on. It's not
Okay,
delay,
yeah.
though.
You're good. You're good.
All right.
Go ahead, do your thing.
Long before the final one, we fell in love and wanted more. We built a million mezzanines. We lived a life beyond our means. The boys and girls filled the world with gold and silver lighting pearls. Occasionally they'd plant a seed and let it grow into a tree. Then families from everywhere were broken and beyond repair. They shouted at their pocket screens and hid their lips and nose and teeth. The chosen ones who traveled on and said goodbye to Babylon were given brand new eyes to see how beautiful this world could be. How beautiful the world could be, yeah. And kings then claimed the end was near. Man's faith was then replaced by fear. The meek had lost their tempered ways. The shepherds led their sheep astray. If you refuse to hide their face, they'd smile and sing Amazing Grace, and only use their eyes to see how beautiful this world could be. Just before the old world order failed like every time before, we built a million families. We lived a life of love and peace. Then all the spells that came from Sodom were broken now, long forgotten. And everyone had eyes to see how beautiful this world could be. How beautiful the world could be. How beautiful the world could be. Yeah.
Wonderful tune, dude.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Such a good song, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's a fun one. I had like kind of cheesy sounds on it at first. I didn't know how. Kind of like this bell sound that's a little way too prominent. There we go. But I just rolled with it. Yeah, I love that song. I've been working on it the last couple of months, and I was gonna do it for Christmas, but once that deadline kind of wasn't feasible, I decided to kind of just throw it on the back burner and look at it more like a concept album, because I've been writing a lot of other stuff kind of like that. So I want, so yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
Great tune. And the people out there seem to absolutely love it too.
Oh man.
Kyle says this is amazing.
Oh, thanks, Kyle. Very cool, man.
Alondra says this is so beautiful.
Oh, Alondra's the best. She has the best taste in music.
Kyle says I could see this in a Pixar film. That's cool. Great song, bud.
Thanks, man. Yeah, appreciate that, man. You got some great ones too. I would love to hear your "Bucking the Dough" song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I haven't played that one in a while. It's a little bit of a country kind of vibe to that one. All right. All right. So this one will be on my upcoming album, the one I'm doing now. Big old hazel lights walking through my field with the tall, tall grass around you, loving all the fruit pressing to the wind. When a buck with the big brown eyes just saw you, and we grazed a buck and a doe. Colleen, we that up, looking mighty fine. When you're in love with those big old hazel lights, good old morning dew, walking side by side, nuzzle up under that fur all through the night, and we grazed a buck and a doe. Buck and a doe. Buck and a doe. Buck and a doe. Racing through the hills, keeping up tonight. The fluffy white tail is a feeling in those eyes. Stop and turn around, share a little kiss, and fall in love with those big old hazel lights. And we grazed a buck and a doe. Buck and a doe. A buck and a doe. A buck and a doe. With those big old hazel eyes.
Love it, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Tune. That's a solid tune. Buck and a dough.
Yes,
See,
sir.
It's little lines like that I never forget, and that's what songwriting's all about. Those little things, you don't know why they work, but they do. That's what I'm always trying to find out. It's always trying to discover those little lines that people just can't help it, and it's weird because everybody they all kind of hear the same thing, like a certain inflection in the. It's really hard to explain it, and nobody can really explain why things work and why they don't. It's on this ethereal level of just not understanding. But there is something that everybody kind of all do. It's not like some people like to hear random nothing as opposed to it. There is a consensus on what sounds good and what doesn't.
Right.
And and it's just too hard to explain.
Well, there's certain things like we've talked about the best songs some of the best songs that we've both written have come to us in like 5 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then there's certain things that I do. What's going down, Raymond? Thanks so much, D. Appreciate the love on that last tune. There's certain things that I do when I write songs that I just kind of like try. Sometimes, like, if a song naturally calls for it, I'll break a rule. But usually, like, I'll keep these things in mind. Like, and the reason that I like that it's, you know, imperative to find these lines is because I want to be able to remember the song the first time I hear it. So if a good song will stick with me the very first time I hear it, I'll be able to sing the song by the second or third chorus.
Yeah.
I'll be able to sing with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
you just know.
You know what I'm saying? You just know it, you know? And that's part of that. That's part of finding those lines. You know, you find those lines and you know, and you're like, okay, I gotta like write this down. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure it was that way with how beautiful the world could be.
Yeah, that one came pretty quick.
Yeah, but did that line kind of gravitate, you know, into that song, or did the song kind of lead into having that one like masterpiece of a line? I mean, the whole song is ridiculously good. Like, the lyrics of that song are insanely amazing.
That's what came really quick. I tinkered around with this, like, for like a few months before. And I never really thought, I knew it would be really hard to make that a song when I came up with that. I just liked the way it sounded musically. But something about it, like, that song particularly kind of, and I could mathematically just like show you how, like, that song, it's a give and pull of emotions. So it sets you up and makes it like you really want to resolve it. But instead of doing that once in a phrase, it does it throughout the whole. It does like. So like it's like each chord does what most songs do in 4 chords, and I think that's why, you know, because each one's like, now you really want to resolve it, and you have that weird chord like, oh, let's go back, you know, then it needs to resolve, you know. So it's kind of just like a big bendy thing. It's like it makes. I think that's kind of why it works so well. I didn't think I'd be able to come up with lyrics and be exactly without having to compromise that music. So when it came, when I wrote them, like, I was really stoked because musically I thought it was the best, you know, melody I ever came up with. But yeah, trying to be a poet on top of that to match what I thought of that as a melody I didn't think I would be able to. So. But I was in the middle of my fasting and not eating for like 3 weeks.
Right.
So, you know, it's kind of a pain in the ass to get to that headspace, but it's worth it, I guess.
Right. Ray says songs that stand in his mind are the transition, and I assume what he means by that is like great transitions, you know, stand out, you know, on specific songs, and that's key too. Like, I always find that, like, when you're writing a song, it's always easy to start a song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always easy to come up with that first verse, you know what I mean? But to go, once you find that key transition and you can take it into a solid chorus, then you know you've got something. You know what I mean?
The chorus is everything. The chorus is everything. If you have a chorus, that's all that really matters. But you're absolutely right. It really just comes down to, like, the fun part will come, but you have to do some work. And I think, like, the second somebody finishes a song, it's a big deal because most people will write stuff, but they've never finished a song. Once you record a song that you finished, you wrote it and everything, then once you go through that process, it gets easier and you start looking at yourself as a songwriter. But for some reason, you know, I know a lot of people that have a lot of good opinions on songs and they write songs, but then I say, can I hear something that you've completed? And that's kind of what separates majority of people, is that they never did the hard part, and that is, you know, clean up, you know, finish it as uncomfortable.
Finishing it, dude. Yeah. I know tons of people who write songs and just don't, like it's weird too. Like I know a lot of people have good ideas for songs too, but they won't start them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I know people who have great songs, and they're well written, they just won't finish them because they're afraid that once they're done with it. I don't know if they're afraid that once they're done with it, they gotta actually play it and show it to people.
Well, it's like when you get inspired, like whenever you get inspired, like honestly, you should try to finish it that day.
Yeah.
You're never gonna feel like as close to that song as you. It's very
In
unlikely.
that moment, you're absolutely right. You're so right, dude. Like
even though it's hard to, but like you're not gonna get it. You know,
dude,
you gotta try to get as much out as then. Yeah.
Very rarely do I write a song in multiple sittings. Very rarely, dude, do I write a song in multiple sittings. It's mostly like one sitting right then and there, and if it's an hour to maybe 3, like Gunplay took me a significant chunk of hours, 2 or 3 hours to write. But I remember like Little Dog only took me like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? And like they're 2 of my oldest tunes, which I still play today.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like
a mystery what works and like where it comes from.
But if you get up from that thing and you go and do a bunch of other shit, and then you come back, you're very rarely gonna find that magic again. You're very rarely gonna come back into that space, into that emotional space that you found the rest of the song in. And when I say find the rest of the song in too, like I mean that. Like I know we've talked about this before in the listening room, but like I feel like the best songs I've ever written, I was a conduit for. I don't even feel like I wrote them. I feel like they just came out of me. You know what I mean? Like, or it came through me. It was like I was just a conduit for it to be a song.
You don't even want to take credit for it. Like
it's that weird. You know what I'm saying?
No, and that's why like it's hard to practice too slow, because when you go too slow, it's just your actual brain doing the work, and you're not letting whatever take over because it's not really, you're not in the groove. There's something about like the automatic brain that can just take over and do things.
Yes,
that's a genius, and that's like anything that's considered like that with me. It's like it's not me. Like trust me, if I'm thinking, if I'm in control here, I am messing it up. That's why I don't like to read music, because I don't like to have my eyes open. I don't like to be thinking. I need to be able to just kind of like become that vessel and let whatever. Yeah.
Exactly what you just said. Fat Scene says, best stuff I wrote, the basic song is done on jam session. So, okay, real quick before we get back into this conversation here, you guys can call into the show and with this link right here, and you guys can play a song on the show. We'd love for you guys to call in. Oh, Musical Me, D, why don't you go ahead and call into the show, set your phone up or set a computer up or something and call in and play one of your songs. Or Fat Scene, if you've written something, we'd love to hear from you. Let me see here. Anybody else in here that plays, we'd love to hear your music. Call in with the link and jump on here. We'll put you on live and you'll play a song for everybody and we'll talk about it. Talk about writing songs with you. Get you on here. Yeah. All right. So what do you think about that? About some of the best songs that you've written coming out of a jam session, like jamming with other people?
There is definitely something there. I've never, but it's really just the best ideas, the meat and potatoes. Like the hard part, is finishing it, and I always have a hard time doing that with other people, because it really is like, it's really nice to get inspired by everybody, but in the long run, like it has to be one person that's either in the driver's seat or making the calls, and musicians tend to like want to avoid the uncomfortable talk of hierarchy in these situations, and unless there's like a really good understanding of who's kind of everybody's at the same level, but someone has to fucking someone has to be make the call sometimes. It's just the only way. So I love the idea of getting ideas with that, but as far as finishing songs, I've never really had much luck. Having it like 100% truly everybody's given their input. Like usually, like I'll be assigned a verse, and then they'll be assigned a verse. and then we'll go from there and kind of divvy it out.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was in, I would say it was a lot of fun jamming and writing songs with bands like Hard 90 and 8 Count, but usually one of the people would write a song and bring it to the band. However, in the band I was in, Half Ton, that band, we did a fair amount of writing together. Like, we would just start jamming something, and then I would come up with something vocally, and they would find the natural transition into whatever it was, and we would just start writing. Okay, do that, repeat that part.
Yep.
You know, find the transition. Okay, now repeat that part while I write these lyrics. You know what I mean? Okay, like let's do that at extra time. You know, do that. You know, go into a little guitar. You know what I mean? And we would all have ideas, and we would just start doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be really fun.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
And that's the thing is, I've noticed that there's so many different ways to be a writer and to write. I mean, look at the Beatles. Like, there are so many. There's no like set formula. There's a million different ways, and you know, it's just what works for some and what others. I'm sure like the genre and the emotional type of music has a lot to do with it. You know, like I can't imagine Kenny G needing a lot of people to write a song, but like stuff like you know, like metal. Yeah, I don't know, like stuff that requires like a lot of like energy and like a, you know, camaraderie of a band. You know, makes more sense, and I could kind of hear it in which bands probably write together and which ones probably somebody is doing all the work.
Yeah, when there's a specific songwriter in a group that's bringing all the songs to the group. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. I just spoke with Brandon a little bit ago before we started, and he said he was going to call. Yeah, he said he was just getting up with a show, getting done with a stream with another band, and he said he was going to try and give a caller in and play a song.
Nice.
So if you guys would like to call in with a song and play a song, love to have you guys jump on there. Kyle says, what are some of the emotional or mental states that you might be in when you write your favorite songs? I'll tell you what, Kyle, like, that definitely varies. And I'll use both Gunplay and Little Dog earlier examples for this. So for Little Dog, I was in kind of just chilling with my family, and everybody was just kind of running around the house. It was kind of insane. I was sitting in the living room, and everybody was just kind of watching TV and yelling and talking and eating and relaxing. And there was a bunch of people with my family, you know, and I was just writing that song. You know, I wasn't really like feeling too much, you know, of anything other than just kind of comfort, you know, at the moment. And then Gunplay was kind of inspired by a book. It was inspired by the Dark Tower series from Stephen King, you know, and but I will say that this last album particularly was inspired by some heavy emotion. And I'll be honest with you, there were some times when I was writing this last album and some particular songs that I was like, tears were streaming down my face, and the words that were coming out of my mouth were matching the emotion. Everything was like, it was all just kind of, you know, like channeling into the song. And sometimes I feel that like I did a whole lot of writing in two different parts of my life, two different times in my life when I had like some emotional turmoil. And I will say that some of the best art I've ever done has been therapeutic. Some of the best songs that I've written during those really hard times have actually helped me move through some of those super emotional points in my life. And so I will say there is something to be said for there's a creative, you know, thing when you're feeling any kind of when you're feeling kind of any overload of emotion for any period of time. For me, in general, it kind of like triggers a creative, like, okay, like how am I going to get this energy out? And I do it the only way I know how, which is write. You know what I mean? And writing song, it seems for me to be one of the best ways to actually to do that, because that's all I know. I don't know much about writing, you know what I mean, books or poetry. Right. You know what I mean? I've written songs since I was 17, so that's what I know. You know, how about you, Crumb? I mean, you find like joyous occasions to be your inspiration? Do you find like restlessness?
No,
you know?
no. I find that in fact, I think most musicians probably use it as a source of escape or understanding of emotions, because you know, I mean, it's really just all dopamine. I think that this is why I kind of think that a lot of musicians tend to, you know, to have addictive personalities. It's because we we kind of figured out at an early age how to trick our minds into releasing dopamine like drugs do, but with music. And so we kind of become, and so like I think when you start going down that road, like you want to be in a place, usually in a place that kind of needs, you're kind of lacking. Like it's almost like, that same kind of urge to, when you're jonesing for something, I guess. So the mentality I'm usually in is usually unfulfilled or incomplete or some sort of just desire to kind of just feel complete. And
interesting.
Yeah. I just made a tiny URL to make it a little easier if anybody wants to make it easier to go. It's
nice.
tinyurl.com/booze2621. If that's easier for people than typing that in.
Cool.
And I'll go to it.
And the link is down there too. Let me see. I'll throw it in the chat section too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no, I appreciate your comment. Look at you. Helping.
Yeah,
Helpy.
man.
Answer it, Helpy. Have you seen this cartoon on Adult Swim called Tigtone? I gotta show it to you when I get home.
Oh my God! No, don't. I don't know. I'm not in the market for something to make my life better. I don't need any more distractions. Do not show me a good show. I'm sick of. I lost enough.
They're only 10-minute episodes, and there's only 11 of them. But
yeah.
I've watched.
Rick and Morty, I've watched a million times after someone told me I would love that show, and I said, I'm sure I would. I'm sure it's a great show. I'm not in the market. And I watched it, and I'm obsessed with it. It's so good.
I love it, dude.
Dude, on the Groundhog Day, I wanted to say that I've been trying something new here, where I am looping at home, and it's kind of fun, but I figured out a way to do that in Logic, and so basically I just live looped Groundhog Day, played the movie, and just did like looping to it, and it was fun. And so I caught the idea to do that again for another movie, for Truman Show, and kind of just like write stuff, similar to like what the soundtrack is.
Dude.
Yeah. Do you want to check it out? Can I show you an idea of what that's going to be like?
Yeah,
I do sound like Rick, I know.
Hold on one second. Yes, that's okay. Says Mr. Crumb sounds like Rick. You do sound like Rick.
I know, I get that a lot.
That's hilarious.
Come on, Morty. Come on, Morty.
Right. I actually texted Crumb one night. I was watching Rick and Morty, and I texted Crumb in the middle of the night one night, and I was like, you remind me of Rick. From Rick and Morty.
No, I get that a lot. So, it's that's also why I'm a big Tom Waits fan and Beetlejuice fan, because apparently...
So, quick question before you start that. Alondra says, when you guys write songs, how do you figure out what you want the tune to be? So now I have a question for you, Alondra. Do you mean the melody, the tune, or do you mean like the content of the song? So let us know. And because as far as the tune, the melody, a lot of times that kind of dictates itself. That kind of just falls into your head sometimes,
Yeah. It's best not to overthink it. I mean, because there's a million different ways.
The melody, yeah.
We could sit here, me and you, and literally pick a chord progression that is a guaranteed hit one. Right. We could do like what, like. Or there's ones that are like the. No chord progression. We could sit here and probably come up with 10 different melodies. Actually, that'd be a good little exercise. Let's do that, actually. What do you think about that? Like, come up with, like, we'll go back and forth and be like, we'll pick a chord progression and just see, what would work. So you're doing that. So like, let me think of like words that we can kind of just use as like the words we always do. Like, I don't know. Somebody in the chat say like a sentence. Somebody, like anything. It could be anything. But Mr. Crumb sounds like Rick. All right, let's do that. So we got Mr. Crumb. I'll jam it to you. It's gonna be off.
Remember, we're off. Remember.
All right, let me do it. Let me do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So you do. So, Mr. Crumb sounds like Rick, or Mr. Crumb sounds like Rick, you know, or Mr. Crumb sounds like Rick. Mr. Crumb sounds like Rick.
Right, exactly. It just you can just tool around all day with different versions of that. You know what I mean?
Like, what would be like the one? You know?
Mr. Crumb sounds like Rick.
Nice.
Mr. Crumb sounds like Rick to me. Mr. Crumb sounds like Rick. Mr. Crumb sounds like Rick.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean? So it's just
so
all day.
I'll do a chorus. Okay,
everyone
I like this.
everyone you could just do. You know what I mean?
Mr. Crumb sounds like Rick. Mr. Crumb sounds like Rick. Oh, ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da. Yeah. Mr. Crumb sounds like Rick. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
Man.
exactly.
And so, like, and there's just a million different ways to go. Like, which one is the most catchiest?
Right,
Like, what is
exactly.
the pour some sugar on me? You know, like,
Exactly.
There's just
You
certain ones
find
that work.
remember when you find that line.
Yeah.
You find that line that we were talking about, you know, bucking a dough, and you just apply it, and you don't overthink it either. Like when you get it, you just get it, and you like that.
You just
that's
know.
it. Yeah, you just know.
yeah.
You know, and if it gets better in time, it gets better in time. But you just know. All right, show me something. Give me something, a song or a loop station, something, and then I'm gonna do one, and then we're gonna get out of here.
All right. Well, I just
And I'm
kinda
pretty
want-
much gonna get some sleep, and then get up in the morning and drive home.
Oh yeah, you gonna come to my arms?
I'm on my way home to you, brother.
Oh man, can you hear that? Do you hear that beat?
Yep.
So, let's see. So I have this Groundhog Day thing. So, let's see here. So I got that going. Okay, good. What am I missing out here? So basically what I want to start doing is just live looping and seeing how that would work, since we're not really allowed to perform live anymore. So I got this Groundhog Day loop going here. For some reason I didn't get the... I have no idea why that's not going through. Oh, now I know why. All right, hold on. Okay, hold on. Here we go. I can do something more on the fly. I gotta figure this out. It should be looping right now. It's just being a jerk. But I got the Groundhog Day working.
Yeah, you do.
You know,
yeah, that's definitely
so
good.
I was doing that on Groundhog Day, looping. It was a lot of fun. So, like, basically, like, live looping can be a thing. I stopped looping because I was going insane trying to do it live.
Why don't you stop it for the moment?
No way, bro. It's Groundhog Day. But yeah, Kevin. No, I hung out with Kevin last week, Kevin Cablo, and we were jamming on looping, and he kind of reminded me of like what I was used to do looping wise, and kind of got me excited about it. So I learned how to like do a kind of a weird rig in Logic that's just always repeating. But then it made me think, like, you know, live looping in the real world, that was always a pain in the ass, but as far as live streaming goes, that's actually a really good platform for it. Whereas actual live performance is not really, this isn't the most ideal. I'd rather be in person, but like for live looping, I think it's a good place for that. So it made me think about it. And
Good stuff.
yeah. So I'm gonna on Monday morning, if anybody wants to watch the Truman Show with me, or Monday, kind of like 11ish, I'm gonna go live streaming on that, and watch the Truman Show. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on, dude.
Yeah.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. Well, let's. You want to do a song real quick before we get out of here?
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I'll do "Top of the World." Can you guys hear that? I'll turn off the. If we're almost done here, I'll turn off the URL. There we go. Here's a song called "Top of the World." Can you hear that? Everything coming through? All right.
Yes.
Assuming it is. Okay, cool. I couldn't hear it. But we can pace things down the aisle. Oh, we can. Hold on. I'm really sorry. I think it's about to start looping, so let me just turn that off.
No worries. And then the piano's a little hot.
It is.
A little bit.
How about now?
Perfect.
Good?
Perfect.
We can pace things down the aisle, or we can walk on to the avenue. Take a stroll, lose control of something new. We're kicking off on Sunday best, or maybe later. Take a rest, there's nothing left to do because I know it's through. Lie awake and fake it, contemplate the exit, because I'm on top of the world. I'm glad you could make it. Say goodbye, little girl. Oh, and happy belated, 'cause stranger things unfold when times are tried and jaded. Take me back to the old. Oh, now that I've made it. Oh, yeah. There's nothing to the rise or the fall. We can only keep our ears to the wall. You know, because there's nothing I would rather do than be blue. We're going fishing for so much more while the water slips into the front door. The modulation of everything I ever knew. Lie awake and fake it, contemplate our exit, because I'm on top of the world. Glad you could make it. Say goodbye, little girl, and happy belated. Well, stranger things unfold when times are tried and jaded. Well, take me back to the old. Now that I've made it, oh yeah. Yeah, that's a fun one.
I love it, dude.
Yeah, that's an old one of mine that I'm finally finishing.
I dig it, dude. I'm going to do gunplay since we're talking about gunplay a little bit.
Nice.
All right, here we go. All right. play at the hands of the men. At the end of the day, he understands the outlaw has the upper hand. He's already been easy yet. He understands the man himself. There is no conscience. He's disastrous and soulless as Lucifer with shoulders. Robbery, rape, and murder, the perverter of the human life. And as the outlaw sleeps, the marshal rides on through the night. The dawn and fire, but now just 2 miles apart. And as they ride to town, the marshal knows it in his heart. He had to care today. Whoa. Mine's with what riding whoop in the smoke. He feels his thoughts roaming faster than the fastest gun. Will sacrifice his only son to those above, from those who think the earth below, without money, from those who dribble out. For the singers and missed their only shot. Bang, bang, it's handled, and the windows are full of faces. The smell of death is upon us. I'm counting 20 pieces. I turn to try the outlaw. Doesn't near his gun. The thunder clouds inside his head. He realizes that he's still not dead. I turn to draw and looks down at his hand. And then he sees his 3 fingers in the sand. The marshal's aim was deadly, he was holding a beat. And on the 7th fingered outlaw lying down in the street at high noon. He had to care today. Whoa. He dives off to his right, snaps leather with his left. As when he feels the bullet ripped through his chest. The marshal's aim was deadly, he was holding a beat. Down the 7th fingered outlaw laying dead in the street at high noon. He had to kill today. Whoa, oh yeah.
Man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah, that's a lot of lyrics in there. I don't think I've ever heard that one.
Really?
Yeah, you've never played that one for me, I don't think. I
think we have never jammed on that on like a Tuesday or Thursday night?
I don't think so, man. I honestly, I don't know.
Well, are you ready for Thursday jam session?
Am I ready? Oh yeah. What's the deal with that?
I'll be in. Yeah, this week I'll be in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been doing free music lessons on Thursdays for people. It must be in person though. That is
yeah. How's that been going? I meant to ask.
So good, so amazing, dude. My students are just incredible, and I mean some of these, a couple of them have never touched the ukulele 3 weeks ago, and now like they're really really good, and they're taking it serious. It's awesome. It's going really good, so I enjoy it. I want to get a few more, but just kind of seeing how this goes for a little bit. It's nice because I miss doing that in person, and the Zoom stuff is really hard to figure out, like how they're, if they're playing correctly and to be a good teacher that way. So, it's been nice.
I appreciate you guys on the love. Dat says that was a great song.
Yeah, man.
Showing a little love. Appreciate you guys. DJ Mr. Crumb, love that.
I went back to YouTube and typed that in because I had to say something. Thank you, Dad.
You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for joining us for the first Songwriters Roundtable. We hope to have Noah Grove on tonight, but Noah was actually busy playing an actual show. And he's in South Carolina where the music flows like the salmon of Capistrano. So,
Beer flows like wine.
Beer flows like wine. All right, you guys. Love you guys. Thank you so much to Mr. Crumb. This week, hopefully next week, we'll have Noah, Crumb, Dave, Brandon Baker, the Fruit Man. Hopefully we'll have as many people on as possible. And you guys get a song ready. Get a song ready, you guys, for next week. We're going to be on, going to be on next Saturday night, you guys. We love you guys. We'll see you next time. Have a wonderful evening, you guys. Take care.